Ladies and gentlemen, now for the official introduction, the fighter fighting out of the red corner, weighed in at 65.7, and it is his debut bout. He's at 22, stands 5'8". He fights out of HD Performance Center and hails from Doncaster, Jack And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, weighed in at 66.2, with an MMA record, 1 defeat. He's at 25, stands at 6 tall. He competes out of Scramble Academy Leagues and hails from Oldham Highway of Leeds, Louis Powell. Your referee is Simon Stavinsky.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, cage door set to close on this second contest of the afternoon. Jack Terry fighting out of the red corner with that black Cassie HD shorts trimmed with red as he takes on Louis Power, fighting out of the blue corner with the black scramble shorts and representing Scramble Academy Leeds. Blue touch gloves, shows the knee, and good Lord, Louis Powers are well put together.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a difference in how they're built, but we always, look at Roy Big Country Nelson. You know, you can never judge about Tyson Fury.
Absolutely, Maniga working that lead leg at the moment, just a slip there
by Power.
And that calf kick has just over the last few years, it's just become more and more a popular weapon.
Oh, 100%, and it feels horrible when it lands.
Circling well, but holding the middle of the cage is Power at the moment. Terry does well getting inside and then getting out of dodge.
He does, but when he gets inside, it's one shot.
Yeah.
You know, when you're there, you've got to do something. Okay, when you're the short man, you close range. You can't just close range for one shot. It's a lot of work to do for nothing.
Power's working behind those physical advantages really well at the moment.
That's it. He's using his length. The one thing that I'd say Terry's looking for, and he's alluded to it a few times with his movement, is just coming over the top as Power throws that kick. Coming over the top, because you tend to find tall guys, when they throw that kick, they leave the chin hanging.
Stayed busy there, Terry, but again, it's Louis Power that holds the center of the fighting cage, making Jack work very hard to get in.
Yeah, and he's just controlling, like you say, he's just taking the center of the cage and controlling it. Now, Terry just taking the center of the cage back for a second, but when Power wants to put something out there, it's Terry that's backing up. Nice feints there by Power. Beautiful right-hand body shot there by Terry.
So far, although Power controlling the area of the fight, he hasn't landed anything that's made Terry fear coming in yet.
Yeah, and he throws and lands a head kick, but slips again.
Oh, that was a nice two-punch combination, though, there.
Just a little bit of fear in Terry's eyes there as he took the 1-2 from Power.
Yeah.
And what a fitting name for someone built like that.
Absolutely.
Power, eh?
Absolutely. So far, neither have looked to engage in clinch or look for the takedown.
Oh, which is mad, because they all fall under the Liam Can IMA banner, which is a collection of of gyms under his grappling banner. Ironically,
rambled in there.
Beautiful.
He's got Power, and now opening up.
And Terry's showing that he's got power too.
Absolutely, and again was winning shots at the end.
Yeah.
Good movement from Power. Not a lot landed in that last flurry, but wow, did Terry straighten him up for a moment.
And that were all there, just with the, sometimes you've got to put, you've got to bank something through the rounds. And like Power was banking the calf kick, because that's going to pay dividends as to go on. Terry was just putting, money in the bank every time he went to the body. And Power's like, oh, he's not coming to my head. He's not coming to my head. And I was actually going to say something. I'd like to see Terry maybe go body head. But then, because he was going to the body, when he lunges in, he goes to the head. He's catching Power because Power's not expecting it. You see it all the time in mixed martial arts. Go low, go low, go low. Lull them into that false insecurity. Go high.
Yeah, it's a really good way to end the round for Terry.
Now, I know damage scores, but surely you cannot give that round to Terry based on just that,
No,
even though it was the most standout, significant strike of the round.
Absolutely. I mean, it's about damage and finishing fights now, right?
That's it. So, and the majority of that round was all coming from power.
But again, as we pointed out, there nothing that landed that sort of changed the complexion of the fight or the game plan, whereas getting stiffened up.
Yeah, definitely. But there's arguments for both sides, in that sense.
The argument is, do 10 jabs score more points than one overhand that knocks your opponent down?
Yeah. But let's be honest, up until that point, it was complete, I don't want to say domination, but it was a very one-sided affair in the way of power. And I'll tell you, the best thing to happen from that is the momentum that he's carried over into this round.
Absolutely.
Because now he's woken up and realised, I can do something here.
And in this round, Terry hasn't had his back to the cage. He's the one closing in.
Yeah, because now Power's got a newfound respect for Teddy's power.
And again,
that's going to become very difficult to say as this fight goes on.
Jack Terry's cardio seems to be holding up well as well. And is power slowing down a little bit? Are those
Power's looking a little bit more sluggish, and
for the
muscles need oxygen.
Inside again.
And there were a lot of output in the way of power in the first round. It's not like he's tired for absolutely no reason.
Oh,
beautiful to the body there by Terry, and just angles off. Yep, sorry, I was just about to say beautiful knee, but it is amateur. Sometimes we get carried away and we forget.
No intent. I think he just threw the shot as soon as he knew. Oh, there was some snap in that.
There was indeed. You see Teddy is full of confidence now.
And again, do you think either of them should be thinking about sort of changing it up a little bit?
I think if you're power right now, you need to throw Teddy. Nice catch and return. But if you're power, you need to offset his momentum a little bit. Teddy's momentum. Maybe a takedown here would do that. Get him out of that rhythm.
I like how there he commits to the shots and then backs back out to range. His power needs to do that a little more.
Yeah, definitely. Make that range work for you.
Oh, heavy low kick.
Beautiful kick with a nice counter left by Power.
Like that.
And he's feeling himself now, because there's no way you string 3-4 jabs together like that if you're not full of confidence. And you can just see now Power, the respect. Sometimes there's too much respect for your opponent's, punching power. And you can see every time that Teddy comes forward, Power is backing off. Whereas in the first round, up until that shot landed, he wasn't.
So again, a nice combination in the replay here from Power, but that was after the knee.
And again, for Power on that knee, if he'd have thrown that to anybody else his own size, that'd have been a body shot.
Yeah.
So it's like when you get southpaw against orthodox, and you always tend to get the low blows, when you get tall guy against the short guy.
So, Louis Power, what does he need to do in the third round to take the fight?
So Power needs to, I think he needs to mix in a takedown, because right now he's got to break the rhythm of Teddy, and I think Teddy needs to keep doing a lot of the same, but I wouldn't say expect the takedown, but be ready.
Yeah.
When you're walking forward all the time, sometimes you're playing to the hands of a grappler. So Teddy needs to carry on doing what he's doing, because I've got it one apiece right now. But I think Power needs to try something different. Because if he stands there striking now, he is playing catch-up, not in skill, but in the momentum that's being created and generated from the end of that first round.
Yeah, essentially 3 minutes to separate these two young lightweights. Jack Terry again, Mark Diakese's HD Performance Center, and Louis Power from the Scramble Academy Leeds in the blue corner.
You can just see that Teddy's doing a little bit more. He's not just throwing one, he's throwing twos and threes. The range difference is so significant in favour of Power, but it's Terry who's landing the jabs, the double jabs, the triple jabs.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see a few more things like that. Front kicks to the middle, things to...
100%, yeah, keep it. You know, we always say use the jab and keep him at range, but what's longer than the jab? Well, a push kick, a snap kick, a side kick.
So, yeah, like, they're landed to the body with no real risk of a counter.
That's it, but... And it might be because he's a little bit paler than the average person, but...
Yeah.
Power is weltered up around his midsection right now.
Just above the knee on the left side, midsection. Yep. But that fair complexion's not fair.
Yeah, and he really has gone away from the calf kick, which, unfortunately, is probably a bit too late to get back to it now, but it was working for him.
But he is starting to use that front kick and that front teep up the middle.
But he just needs a sense of urgency now after how the second round went from the last 10 seconds of the first round and the second round. I think Power needs to do more. Not just keep him at range, but keep him at range with purpose. Pick him off. I mean, find that kill shot.
This is a tough round for anyone to score at the moment. Maybe Terry landing with a little more venom, but
yeah,
I'd suggest if we looked at the numbers of strikes landed, we'd be fairly even.
Oh yeah, definitely, because you've got to put, you know, Teddy were throwing a lot of singles in that first round, and Power were throwing a lot more volume. I mean, they kind of switched it on their head in second round. Teddy were on top with the volume front, but this round they're both throwing. Neither man wants to lose. They've got to understand that it is one apiece, and I'm sure, I mean, look at the corners that they've both got. There's no slouches there. They're going to have told them this is one apiece, go win it.
Right now it's Terry working from the middle of the cage, and he is the busier of the two at the moment.
He is indeed. There's that calf kick again.
10 seconds left. We're going to get a flurry to finish it. Body lock, clinch, knee to the middle.
You looked like you were going to go for a little belly to belly there, but
9 minutes for these two debuting amateurs. 9 minutes.
It was so intriguing because it was nip and tuck all the way, you know. First round, Power. Second round, Teddy's. Both had success in the rounds that they, in my opinion, lost.
Yeah.
Neither man went out of it. And then the third round, it was just like, you know, you give one, I give one. You give two, I give two. For me, I think Teddy were a bit more on the front foot, and there was no reason. He had no business closing that range and landing those jabs over Power's jabs. And, you know, I just think he might have done a little bit more.
We say it all the time, that like two debuting guys, give it a little bit of everything there.
Yeah, if this is how they're starting out, then good Lord. You know, the pros today are going to look like absolute amateurs by the time these guys go pros.
Absolutely. I can see Mr. Seth Khan is...
But yeah, what a fight. What a nice back and forth learning curve. There's nothing negative to take from that. Yeah, you want to be in the win column, but it's amateur.
As fan-friendly as an amateur debut can be. They traded on their feet. Neither gave up. They both pushed to try and win this fight.
And I do want to say that Liam Cannon's been very, very responsible for Mark DeCasey's turnaround in wrestling. So this is a little bit weird for me, right?
Scorecard 29-28. 29-28 and 30-27. All three judges scored it in favor of your winner in the red corner, Jack Terry. Please show your appreciation for Louis Power.
An excellent contest there, Danny. Unanimous decision win for the debuting Jack Terry.
Definitely, and well earned. Well earned. They both looked great in there, and sometimes, you know, you're on Tapology, you see wins and losses, they don't tell the whole story. But that was a very, very close fight.
Oh, it was a great fight. Great fight. 2 down, 15 to go.
All right, bring on the next one.
Amen, brother.